Hey everyone, this is Trader UC from My Trade Price. Welcome to the weekly episode. It is November 15th around 9 in the morning. So let us get started and review some of the charts that we follow and trade. So you're looking at Amazon right now here in the weekly time frame. Still in an uptrend, but for maybe the past couple of months, it's been in this sort of a range where it has made this lower high so far, right, and it has maintained this 3,000 price sort of as a support level pretty nicely. And last week it has been an inside week, right, with a little bit of bottom wick here. So if you take a look at this price level right here, is the resistance sort of, and this is the support. So 3,300 and a little over 3,000 has been majority of the price range since the past few weeks now. So I think drilling down to a lower time frame will give us a better view of what's going on. So here's the daily chart. We are below this what is the screen? It's a 50-day moving average. So yeah, I'm gonna bearish from that perspective, right? But let's see what's going on in the daily time frame. Here is this big Monday sell-off that we saw last week. Then we gapped down, and then on Wednesday midweek we had a little bit of this bounce in the market, or in this name right here. So we did fill this gap right here, okay. And then the last 2 days we held this support level right here. Excuse me. Around 3,100, right? Double bottom right here. So now the bulls would like to see price get above the high of this Wednesday and Friday price bar to target at least first the high of the Thursday price, right? Anything below this, the double bottom, we can break down. Could be a lot of orders setting here to take the stop loss, people who went long on Friday or even on Thursday, right? So if those gets triggered, we can see a quick flush down, and on the level, and the levels below are probably the first is this Wednesday low followed by Tuesday low, right? Because we have some support right here from the previous few weeks ago. Okay, so look for that kind of price action. Anything a close above the 50 SMA, all these short-term moving averages will definitely be healthy for bulls, because if you see, this was a very important price level, right? 31, I don't know what the exact level is, but let me bring it. Actually, I think I must have marked it. So yeah, so it is 3160, 3176 level. So if we get a close above that in the daily time frame, that is bullish, because then definitely we can easily target the swing up, right? You know, these levels right here, that once we get a close here, something like that, then you can see a little bit of follow through to the upside for the swing high targets. Okay, so we'll drill down in the lower time frame to get some entries early next week. Okay, coming to Apple, long-term uptrend still intact in the weekly time frame, and it has looked like it is trying to make this higher low, right? Right here, it did not come all the way down, but now we have to go above this point right here to call it a valid swing low and a higher low, right? Otherwise we can just kind of come down from here, which is not an ideal case for bulls. But we need to kind of get going on the upside now, or at least hold this price level, because this 114.4 level has been a significant sort of support area, where every time we would come below that level, we will quickly bounce back up. So that is the weekly time frame for you. Getting into the daily time frame here, it is holding nicely. This is the Monday sell-off that we had, but then we did not get any downside follow-through, right? It held, it kind of gave a little pause bar right here, and then we moved back up. And since then, we are sort of, finding some resistance here in this area where about 120.2, 120.3 has been the resistance price level where it has had a hard time kind of breaking out from, but holding that price level for right now. Okay, it's not even selling off. You don't see any bearish trend bars, right? After this Monday sell-off, you don't see any big follow through to the downside. It's just holding the level or just kind of going sideways. So somewhat, I would say, flattish to bullish outlook going into the next week. We'll see what happens. A lot of people are also saying that this could look like a little bull flag kind of a price action. Okay, so see if we kind of open weak and then go green, but this will be the price level to look for any breakout move to the upside. Okay, and then you have the price resistance coming in around the top level right here. This is the first touch. We can maybe see a little bit of sell off right there, but then eventually it can break out again to the upside. For downside targets, I would say unless or until you kind of get a close below the low of Monday or something like that right here, right? This has been a good support Wednesday, even on Monday. If we get a close below that, look for these moving averages to provide some support, but if they don't, we kind of fall back down, then definitely we can kind of see, hey, we can go for a gap fill right here. This is the gap that still remains on the chart. Okay, moving on to Zoom. This is the weekly chart of Zoom. We have a good volume week from last week with a little bit of hammer off of the 20 week SMA, right? So that's just the candle analysis by itself. However, now if we drill down to a lower time frame, and by the way, the earnings are coming up for this name by the end of this month. What is that? November 30th, right? So the stock has seen some sell-off in the recent weeks because the COVID situation, although it has gotten worse here in the past 2 weeks, but for some reason it did kind of get the sell-off based on the fact that the vaccine is coming out and Zoom might be losing its days of glory here. So we'll see what happens, but technically speaking, the stock is down from all of its moving averages, right? It's in a downtrend. It's making lower highs right now. So unless or until that gets reversed, you have to assume that the trend is still down, right? So what bulls would like to see early next week would be the fact that we did close weak on Friday, right? So first of all, they would just want to see a reversal or some sort of this bearish trend bar failure, right? But by failure, what I mean is that we don't see another big gap down, or even if we see a gap down, we don't see a continued move down. We get some sort of a pause bar, something like that, or or we open up weak, but then we get back strong, and then we get a nice bullish trend bar, something like that. Some indication that the buyers are stepping in here and holding this price level to see some sort of reversal. Eventually, we would like to see a close above this one right here. Okay, so unless or until you see that, you have to assume that the trend is down. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, Netflix weekly chart. You can see there's a significant price level that is pretty obvious. That was the breakout level back in the mid-June time frame, right here. Big breakout on earnings with big volume. Since then, any sell-off that has happened in Netflix, we have held this support level of around 465, 470, right? Pretty nicely. It has not seen any even a fake move down from this price level, right? So that means this is a good support level that we need to pay attention to. And last week we did not see any downside move right below this bullish trend bar from 2 weeks ago, so that is a good sign. It's just the price overall just the look and feel of the chart is less bearish. Okay, I'm not saying it's extremely bullish right now, but it's less bearish, right? So because we don't have any bearish follow through below this 460 4670 level, every time we trade there we see some sort of bullish setup, and even in the weekly time frame, right? So that is a good sign. Going into the daily time frame, I'm not bringing all these levels for you. It just makes the chart look busy, but these are important price levels off of which we trade, right? These are high probability price levels, high probability setups where you need to kind of go pay attention to. For example, this 496 level, right? That has been a resistance this whole past week, right? Every time we would kind of move there, the price would sell off. Monday, we opened up right here, we rallied, and then we sold off, right? So that is an important level to consider as a resistance level, and that is what exactly happened on Thursday as well, where we tried to break out of that level and go fill this gap right here. Couldn't do it, and then we sold off. But we are holding this 477 support pretty nicely. We have had a couple of touches in the past week on that price level, so that becomes an immediate short-term support to consider on any move to the downside, and see if we hold that. Okay, aggressively, if you want to be long, definitely look for a price move above 496. Friday's high is 489. Anything below 477, we have a couple of touch points here. Immediately below 477, that can provide bounces on hourly support, but the major support level is, like I said, 460, 465, all that area since the past multiple months now, right? So breaking down from there, we'll definitely target or make the take out a lot of stops probably, but we'll see what happens. But we'll just stick with trading the levels and not get emotional about any of our trades. Okay, here's the Tesla weekly chart, and it has been again also in an uptrend, but we are getting this sort of triangle kind of a move here that everybody's kind of paying attention to. So we'll see what happens, but for right now, the weekly bar in itself was kind of bearish, right? Because we are getting rejected constantly from this price level right here. We don't have any close above that level, right? The highest close that I see in the weekly time frame is probably this right here, right? There are moves above that price level, but on the weekly time frame there are no closes above that level. So that is something to just make a note of on your charts, right? And here's this triangle sort of formation that is going on. But okay, by itself, weekly structure is weak. Yes, we have a higher low or higher series of higher lows, right? With higher highs, but then the overall feel of the chart is not that bullish right now, at least. Okay, so we'll see if this gets any follow through to the downside or next week, or if we kind of make a touch point to this rising 20 period weekly SMA. We kind of touch that, move back up or something like that to hold the uptrend, right? So on the downside here, unless or until we give up this price level right here, I mean, the overall structure still remains kind of healthy and bullish. Okay, let's get into the daily time frame. Yeah, so we can see every time we trade here towards the 440, 450 area, we kind of get rejected. And let me bring out the levels here quickly, just gonna help you see or visualize us when it gets a little busy, but gives you a good view of where the support and resistance levels are. So this daily time frame, right? Important level is this right here, 423. Unless or until you get a close above 423, 424 was a level that we were watching all week, last week. So if we get a close above that, bullish, right? Because then what will what this means is that we will target, because right now what's going on is that we are, let me show you, where's my tool, box, right? So this is the area we traded mostly, right, a few weeks ago. And then once we got below 423, right, once we got below 423, now we are in this another box area here where we're, so unless or until we get above 423, get a close above that, we can target the swing high, which is 440 level on the upside. But for right now, if we get close below 401, 396 area, then definitely this becomes the range, right? 396 to 379, sort of the box range. So we'll see which way the stock likes to go. But for right now, we'll just stick with levels again. It is somewhat on the higher time frame, still okay, but it needs to show some bullish price action, right? Something like this. I don't see that over here. So unless or until we see a big bounce here and a nice big green close, yeah, sure, we can target this 440, 435 area on the upside. Okay, so we'll just take it one day at a time. Okay, this is a Facebook weekly chart. Yes, it is holding. I mean, you can say sort of a, flagging kind of a sideways action since the past few weeks. It's not really breaking down as well, so which is okay. It is trying to attempt an upside move, but then sellers show up and kind of make the price action go down. Okay, so we'll see how that happens. Let's get into the daily time frame here. Overall weak price structure, right? We had this big move to the upside, it sold off, and now sort of a, I don't know, maybe a bear flag sideways. I think there are better charts to trade than Facebook from daily chart perspective, but there are people who do trade this name intraday, so I mean it can definitely provide some good setups. Like for example, last week I did trade that name actively. Here are all the price levels that are marked on the chart. Again, this is a 30-minute chart. So one of the plays that we did was this gap fill that on Monday, right? On Tuesday, we did gap down, stayed below the gap for the most part, but then on Wednesday morning we opened right on the top end, and we started making the move towards the upside, and this was the nice gap fill that we did. So all good there. We did try to move back up above Wednesday's high, really couldn't do it, got rejected all the way down, rejected all the way down, and since then we are in sort of a range bound, right? So now intraday, this is a good support level right here, 272 area. If we break that, then you can target 270 to 268 as the next price levels to look for as swing lows. Anything over and above 277, bulls are in charge, and then 279.7 becomes your sort of the breakout area to look for, because that provided resistance last week. Okay, so consider those price areas as your important areas to look for any move, to play any move, because that's where the price was contained for the most part right here. Okay, this is a Boeing weekly chart. You can see it nicely broke out of this multi-month channel right here, right, on nice volume, and it held above that for the first time. It did not sell off. Okay, hope I don't jinx it, but now the price target on the upside can definitely be this 50-day SMA right here, which is around 206 right now, or even 200 level as a psychological level to look for as a target on the upside. Getting into the daily time frame, or actually let me put the levels on. Getting into the daily time frame right here. Sorry, it gets a little busy here, but once you get in the lower time frame or you zoom it in, it becomes a little neat. So here is what's going on, right? We broke out. We do have a little bit of gap here, okay, on the that we jumped out of based on the vaccine news. Okay, we did see a nice upside follow through all the way to 194. We sold off, but we did see a good big bullish Friday trend bar. Okay, volume was not too great, but it's okay. Now this 190 becomes the resistance, and any move 180 and below becomes sort of the support level to look for, and see if the price breaks down from there. Okay, so because we have double bottom right here the past week, 2 days it held the price level, we broke down, but again it did not really go all the way down. Buyers stepped in and took the price back up above the high of the Thursdays and this I think it's Monday as well. So still bullish on this name, I would say, and weakness can be bought towards 194 and then 200 as the price target, unless or until we get a close back below 176. That puts the pressure on bulls, and bears become more I would say strong, and then we can target the lower end of previous week, which is 172, and then we have this gap fill area, or this even back test of this channel support can be a good downside target if this name gets weak. Okay, just wanted to quickly review MDB as well. We played and traded this name last week for a nice hefty profit, and remember last week going into this name, the thought process was that we back tested this breakout trend line and had a nice bullish engulfing bar, right? And we were trying to get long above the high of this bar. However, we opened weak and then we sold off. Okay, so that changed the scenario, but it gave us a super nice entry in the daily time frame. And I just wanted to quickly walk you through to the thought process of the entry, just so that you guys can learn as well, and also kind of apply the same knowledge in your own trading. Okay, so what happened was that in the daily time frame, this is Monday, right? We sold off, but on Tuesday we held this support level right here that we had from the previous week, right? We held that support level, got a nice bottom wick, and then on I think it was Tuesday, we did take a chance when we saw the price move back up above 229. That was the entry, because even in the lower time frame, in the hourly time frame, we had a nice bullish trend bars that provided me a good confidence on this trade. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we saw a big move to the upside, and that was it, off of the 50-day SMA. So that's how you kind of do a little top-down analysis and see where you can time your entry, and you have to be flexible that if your original plan did not come through, you just be flexible enough to see, okay, that plan that I had did not work, where can I take my entry now? Of course, I'm going to get a discounted entry, so you try to time yourself and improve the risk and reward ratio towards the trade that you are taking. Okay, hope you guys like this video. If you have any comments and questions, please leave me a message and I'll be happy to talk. Okay, thank you.